I tell y'all what's on my mind?
Up? It's your brother, your cousin, your uncle,
Can
your
I get a
nephew,
couple
your
of
family,
things
your
off my
family, your sons,
chest?
your kinfolk. William Jewell, giving you my detail as I articulate. This is articulating rap, 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 rap. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and turn all the notifications on so you get all the new content, all the new videos when I post them. I just came here to give you my detail, right? From the hip hop perspective, right? Close up and far away, microscopic and telescopic. And just to look through my lens, right? Got a lot of stuff going on today. So I'm gonna keep it brief. And I'm glad I'm able to interact with y'all like family, like kinfolk. So, that's what I do at the end of the day. But man, D'Angelo, R.I.P. That's the first thing that like comes to mind about the recent news of everything. That's the one that really hit my heart, really tugged on those heartstrings. And I mean, I admit I was a little bit emotional about hearing that because he was one of those figures. He was one of those figures in Neo Soul that I loved, and he was the one that made me a fan of Neo Soul. So just to hear that news, I was kind of distraught, you know, and to think about Angie Stone, right? The mother of his oldest child, his son, Michael Eugene Archer Jr., like just to think about her passing 7 months prior to him and that son losing both parents in a year's time, right? So, and he had a daughter as well. So, man, you think about D'Angelo, you think about the ones he's leaving to and the ones he's leaving behind, right? So, man, just Brown Sugar, right? Just that whole album, really. Like, I feel like my introduction to the R&B, to the neo soul, was through D'Angelo, and I think at that time I really didn't know like this was neo soul till you had the Music Soul Childs, till you had the Jill Scotts. But I've always loved D'Angelo and Erica Badu's vibe. Just the way they know how to manipulate their voice, get you the ad libs, and just they can tug at your soul. And so he was like definitely a big introduction to that. And one song, like when we talk about Voodoo, the album Voodoo, we talk about Untitled. How does it feel? And I was telling people like before there was Goku, there was that video, D'Angelo, swole, built, healthy, right? I aspired to have that look as well. We think about the Jamie Foxx show. The Jamie Foxx show, spoofed that video. That's how big that video, that's how big the impact like D'Angelo made in the culture. V-cut showing. Man, come on. Before there was Goku, there was D'Angelo. And I know all my brothers feel me, in that age range. But then we go to Devil's Pie. I think about Belly, the Atro, you know, like one of those pure hip hop classic movies. Maybe cheesy to some, maybe the storyline wasn't perfect, but Belly, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. And just knowing the outro of it, D'Angelo, that also like his features with Lauryn Hill, his connections with so many artists in R&B and soul music, even hip hop, like Voodoo, just that hip hop, like that feel, that boom bap, like in with the R&B flavor to it, like that was different. And D'Angelo was one of those artists that really captured it, man. So shout out D'Angelo for sure, you know. But speaking of someone who really had a hand in the culture from a hip hop perspective, we got to talk about Jeezy, right? We got to talk about Jeezy because Still snowing. I really didn't speak on it. I really didn't review it. I know it had mixed reviews. I was seeing a lot of the media outlets, Joe Budden, to name one, right? And maybe the bigger picture. I'm not sure, but some people didn't really like the album. Didn't like how he was rapping as far as the speed of the beats, as far as the production. People were complaining about everything, just from what I heard. But me being a Jeezy fan and just appreciating his music, like his effort was, honorable. His tenacity to push through and try to evolve, and replenish his sound with something more vibrant, something more uplifting, something more mature and grown. Like I commend him. And ultimately I like the music. Right? Ultimately I like the music. I'm not the musical savant as far as the production and how a sample should sound. I'm not that guy. Right? But I know it sounds good. And I do kind of knock him lyrically because that was like some beats to get on and really showcase your lyrical prowess. And I think that's kind of what didn't connect, because he's kind of still rapping like he's on trap beats, but on these sampled soulful beats. So I think that's probably where the disconnect is, but it seemed like I knew what he was trying to do. I could appreciate what he was doing. I mean, Jeezy, the Snowman, he's still one of them guys, and he showing us he grown. He showing us he evolving, and like you gotta be proud of that. And I love the percussion. DJ Toomp, who's known for doing songs for T.I. DJ Toomp. And he got with Don Cannon on the production. So they did not fail him on the production. And for anybody to really look at that production and not appreciate the samples, Drama got on the bigger picture. He said all the samples were clear. Like, and they did all that. You can't deny that work. Right? You can't deny the effort. And you can't deny the change and the evolution. So I guess that's why I like this album. Bruce Wayne, Treason, of course, that was the one that stood out to me the most. I got to go back to the track list and really just show y'all what songs I really like. But just off the top, those two songs, I like the intro as well. So, I mean, all in all, Jeezy did great. Jeezy did great. I like it. I like it as a body of work in his catalog. And I like him continuing to search and find that sound that where he can recreate the impact, or he can, showcase himself in a way that's even more refined but still blemished, right? Because you gotta have a little dirt on you to really like speak with authenticity. But Mobb Deep, Infinite, the new Mobb Deep album, it was cool. It was cool. Like, when we speaking about other legends from New York, legends from the East Coast, and I'll be honest, I'm not all that familiar with Mobb Deep. I didn't really just jam the Infamous like that. I knew about Prodigy. I knew about Havoc. But I mean, I just, coming from the South, I never revered them as one of the best groups. We had UGK, we had Outkast, we had Bone Thugs and Harmony. We had so many other like duos, like that was more cult captivating at that time. As far as for me being in the South, really just knowing East Coast through what I saw on BET. So not really having that connection or that access to the underground realm and just exposure to the New York old school. So I'll say that, man. I guess I'll have to preface my comments by saying that. But I like the album. Same reason I like Jeezy album. Just that boom bap, just that raunchy, raw New York feel, but still pristine, still good quality in the engineering, and just sounded a lot crispier. I love what Georgia Smith and her did on the album, and most of all, Nas. So, I mean, just him bringing these things to life and actually having a song or two on everybody's album on the mass appeal. You know what I'm saying? Roll out of these legends, like I really commend Nas. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's just veterans, legends to some, and just a New York feel that has kind of not been in the forefront. That's kind of coming back, especially to the people that's been rocking with hip hop for a long time. Just some of that griminess, like I said, some of that raunchiness from the grit of New York City. Like, that's just kind of like what I like, what I feel, what I appreciate about this album. And the rapping was good, you know, on beat, clear, good lyrics, like what you expect from the true veterans of that East Coast. But salute to Mobb Deep, salute to Nas, Mass Appeal. Um, One thing I saved for last on purpose because it was something that I'm getting tired of talking about. The reason why I saved this topic for last is because this should have been the last place thinking from the get-go. Right? And the reason why I am saying it this way that I am saying it is because this is not hip hop, right? This is not of the culture. This is not for the culture. This is not by the culture. This is the interruption, right? This is the disruption, the distractions, the disappointments, right? And when we think about what Drake did by suing UMG for defamation because of the song Not Like Us, like I'm flabbergasted. Like, I've been hoodwinked, I've been bamboozled. Like, this is just something uncharted territory, something that we didn't see before. I don't feel like this is real. I don't feel like I'm in reality. As my boy Horn would say, I feel like I'm in the Matrix. Right? Because why are you suing? Because of a rap battle that you wanted to participate in. That you told him to say things about him. About you. You told him to say things about you. And you said some defaming things about him and his loved ones. So at the end of the day, Drake, you lose. You lose in court. The case has been dismissed. And the underlining that should really be the overlining of this situation is it speaks to the freedom of speech, the lyrics in court, and like just thinking about the government and how Trump is moving right now, right? We can't say anything that would go against their beliefs, right? We can't say anything against this regime without being punished in some sort of way. We can't have the freedom of speech. And when we think about the laws of the land and we think about the lyrics being used in court, like we got to think about freedom of speech. At the end of the day, like to me, that's what was the biggest victory in Drake's loss. I love Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? I love Kendrick. And I like them both. Like, I do like Drake. But I just never liked the way he moves. That's always been my issue with Drake. When I got to the point where I didn't really care for Drake like that, it was never the music. It was always how he moved. And when I saw how he moved and I listened to the music, I just couldn't connect like that because I couldn't put two and two together. So, I mean, I ain't going to be long winded about it. Like I said, I ain't got that much time, but Drake. So, shout out, UMG, shout out Kendrick. And I don't even want to say shout out UMG. Let me take that back because that's big business right there. And they're going to strong arm, they're going to muscle arm. So, I mean, really just shout out hip hop that really won. It's not even UMG, but it's your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your nephew, your friend, but I can't be a son. It's your kinfolk, William Jewell. Well, giving you my detail. That's how I articulate. This is articulating rap, rap, rap.